Hello, everyone. It is Noxxie. I'm actually back to doing Sundown Saturdays. First one, here in May. May. It's gonna be May. Well, actually, it's not gonna be May anymore. That's the whole point of this, is it's no longer frickin' May, or it's not gonna be May. The odd part about this month is Sundown Saturday is happening like a week before the end of the month, because the actual end of the month is next Friday. So the Saturday is the first. Anyway, so it is me. Hello. And as per usual, recently, because he just lives on my channel, is Spyro. Say hello.
I live rent-free in your head and in your content.
You do live kind of rent-free. He's just here. He's here, and that's okay. We don't mind him being here. We like him here. He's kind of fun.
And good content.
So, what did I do this month? Which, honestly, so that's such a loaded question, because I did a lot of updates. Shut up. Be nice.
I am nice.
I did a lot of updates on things. I have changed where certain things are getting posted, so we'll talk about that in just a second. I did actually upload a legitimate audio. Yay. My first one. I recorded quite a bit, and then I spent a week in the hospital, which kind of really slowed down my progress.
Threw a hamper in things, if you will. Threw a wrench in the gears.
Yeah, it just straight up stopped my progress for a bit, which is unintentional. So, first to the monetary side of things, so that I can just get it over and done with, because, and I'm going to reiterate this 1,000 times, monetary support is not required. I do this as a hobby. If you want to give, great. That is kind of how I look at it. If I do get money back from it, awesome. I can put it back into what I'm doing. I'm hoping to be able to take a couple classes here this summer on audio editing and things like that, so that I can get a little bit better at the audio editing and the audio mixing and have a little more to do for y'all. So there's that. But to the monetary side of things, I am now using both my Ko-fi and my Patreon. Why? Because Patreon has changed their rules on what is and isn't allowed for as far as having another voice. I use other people's voices in my safe for work audios, but due to Patreon's new rules, I would be required to get their written consent, including their birth date and their ID information, and give that to Patreon, which is just
a lot.
It's a lot.
And not everyone's okay with it.
Yeah, it's a lot. Not everyone's cool with it. Not everyone is up for that. So I am just avoiding that rigmarole, avoiding that problem altogether for right now, because I don't make multi-person, not safe for work content, as it were. So all of my stuff will be going on... All of my stuff that is only me will be going on Patreon. Patreon is getting their own Patreon-only podcast, which is called Shower Thoughts, and that's for them. And the only reason why I'm tagging that as more not safe for work is because that is me as I am, pure just Knox's line of thinking, usually right after a shower. So you're going to get me at my absolute most philosophical, but also my absolute most just gremlin. There's some gremlining there. What was that?
I said you're philosophical.
I can be, yes. But then YouTube and Ko-fi is getting my just Noxxie's nonsense, I think is what I ended up calling it. You gotta give me a second to remember. Yeah, I called it Noxxie's Nonsense, which sometimes it'll be me and Spyro, sometimes it'll be me, Spyro, and Ahi. Sometimes it'll be me without my mods. It might even be another creator for funsies, and the topics are going to change here and there. They're just going to be different things, and so yeah, that's a reality that we're getting into. I don't know when that's going to hit YouTube, because I only have one episode right now, and I really don't want to run out of content, if that makes sense. So I do want to get a couple more of them recorded and up to coffee first, because obviously if you are a supporter, you do get them early. The memberships on Patreon and Coffee are exactly the same. They have changed. Again, I'm going to I'm gonna stay on the monetary path for a minute. So I have a $1 tier, a $3 tier, a $5 tier, 10 and 25. I got rid of a couple tiers. I changed the amounts. I did reinstate my $1 tip jar tier, which just gives you a name on my Discord and a name in the credits of my work. You know, a shout out during your first Sundown Saturday and things like that. Like, just very simple, hey, this person is supporting me. It is not a way to get early access to any content or access to any past content, things like that. It is literally just a, hey, I liked your content, here's $1, ta-ta. You know, and that's not to say that I don't like my tip jar patrons. I do. I love them a lot, because that is still very important to me that people were willing to be like, you know what, I do like your content, but I may not be able to give much, but I still want to support, so here's $1. You know, that's, to me, that's really important. And I do very much love all of them, like I'm just saying. So depending on where you subscribe is where you're going to get different things. That is point blank the difference here. For $3, you get, on both sides, you get access to my exclusive stuff, so stuff that's only going to be on Patreon or only going to be on Coffee, and you're also going to get, at minimum, 24-hour early access to YouTube uploads. Admittedly, anything with 2 voices, you're only going to hear on Coffee, but at the same time, Patreon does get a certain amount of extra stuff, because like it's stuff that I recorded and stuff that I wouldn't or can't put on YouTube because of YouTube rules. So here, there, and everywhere, I am trying to find a way to not have this be a problem. I am legitimately trying to find a way to be able to just have one website that does it, you know, does it all. Just saying. So there's that. For the $5, you get access to behind the scenes content. You get access to monthly live streams that I'm going to start doing here that are, you know, going to be unlisted, yada, yada, yada. You get access to tier exclusive audios, which just means that, you know, from that tier up can hear it. The $3 doesn't get those. And again, that's pretty much the same for Coffee and Patreon. $10 a month gets exclusive writing streams where you're going to get to see me and kind of hear how I work and talk to me about how I work and how I write, which to me is really important, particularly as I do more writing, and as I also do more like art stuff. I'm going to put that in there as well. Just less audio related streams, if that makes sense. There will also be stargazing night on Discord for both Coffee and Patreon supporters at this tier, which just means, hey, you know, there's a night where you're going to get to hang out with me and my mods. We might play games, we might do something. I don't really know what we're going to do for those 100% yet. And then for $25 a month, and this is locked? Not locked, but limited. There's only 20 spaces per, so 40 total. You get a monthly personalized, not personalized, but you get like a monthly conversation with me, so of course it's kind of personalized. It's just a one-on-one phone call with me. It does have to remain safe for work, even for my patrons, because rules, and I do like to follow them. You'll also get promo codes for merch, and again, as I do more art and as I stop being such a little whiner about it, more of my merch is going to be my art. It's going to be stuff like that. It's going to be specifically things that I make, so that'll be fun. There will also be tier exclusive audios and writings, and then outside of Stargazing nights, there will be game nights with me and my mods, which will probably be stuff like Jackbox or even the Discord activities, because honestly Discord's got some really cool ones. I've had a lot of fun with those. we've had some fun with those stupid things. So monetarily, there's the difference. Yes, I'm using Ko-fi. Yes, I'm using Patreon. Here's why. I am very much absolutely trying to find a place where I can do both without having to be so invasive to my mods or so invasive to other people. Because it is kind of invasive when you have to ask, your friends or other creators, hey, I want to use your voice, but it doesn't go well, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it's not that horrible. I'm unsure. Anyway, so off of the monetary aspect of it, Ko-fi, Patreon, both things now. Now, to talk about something that Spyro's involved in, so he can actually talk here. Noxxie's Nonsense and what it's going to be. It is very much nonsense. It's very nonsensical, point blank. It is just a conversation between us, sometimes between just myself. I get to be crazy. Woo! I get to be crazy. But it'll be about different topics and, kind of talking them out. Like, little spoiler to the first one, we talked about the idea of, like, if America could go back to having delivered, like, to your door milk and stuff. And that was an interesting conversation to have. I don't know what Spyro's thinking for the next day. Spyro, do you have any idea what we're going to be talking about next time?
Fantastic question. Nothing in my mind just yet.
He's going to come at me and it's going to be like, we're going to talk about tires and tire rotation, and I can tell you I know absolutely nothing about cars. Like, I know how to rotate my tires and I know how to change my tire, but that is about it. So he's probably going to be like, let's talk about 22 millimeter wrenches, and I'm going to be like, shit.
Well, here's where even just that statement gets funny, is you say change a tire, and I know, logically, I know that you mean put the spare on your car when you get a flat, but my brain immediately went, you don't know how to change a fucking tire.
Okay.
Not actually.
I know how to do what almost all Americans can do, because any American who hasn't worked in a shop is going to look at the rim and the rubber and go, that's a tire. That's a whole ass tire right there, my boy. They're not going to be like, that's a rim and a tire.
Well, you wouldn't call it a rim anyways, because it's a wheel and a tire. A wheel. You have the rim of the wheel, but the wheel itself is not a rim.
You know what I fucking mean? Like, that's a wheel. That's a wheel. That's a metal wheel with its little metal rim, and then it's a tire. Like, no. That 90% of America and most of the rest of the world, I'm assuming, and again, I could be wrong, is going to look at that and go, nah, the whole thing is a tire. So this is why he and I will never have that conversation, because that episode would turn into an argument. But, I mean, talk for half a second, Spyro, about kind of like your role, because you're new to everyone, to be completely honest, because like Ahi's been involved in a couple things, and like my older followers would, not saying y'all are old, but like people who have been here since the beginning would kind of have a little more introduction to Ahi. So like, what is it that you do for me other than drive me absolutely nuts?
I provide quality content. Um, I help moderate, I help keep things relatively tame and sane in the Discord and on Twitch. And I provide a lot of emotional support.
You do try on Minecraft, but also Minecraft's kind of stagnated. But that allows me to roll into my next thing. The Minecraft server, I really wanted to get it out before the end of May. I really wanted to have it by June 1st. My week in the hospital has put me behind. Because I had already kind of made a decision behind the scenes right before going to the hospital that I was going to tone down some of the stuff I wanted and I was just going to release it. Not as is, like I was going to finish certain things that needed to happen. But I was going to release it and then just kind of release almost like a patch to the server, because the kind of stuff that I wanted to add is all quality of life stuff, but none of it is going to change how chunks load or biomes and things like that. Like none of it's going to do that. So once I sit down with my developer and with Spyro and the rest of my team and kind of get the final touches on the basics, we'll get it out and I will have a little Minecraft day both on YouTube and on Twitch and stuff, just so people can see it, and join if they want to. But that's Minecraft talked about. I've talked about, oh yeah, my recordings. What have I done this month? I have come back, if that makes sense. Like I actually recorded my first, I'm going to say my second actual legitimate whispered audio, and I at least point blank said it was aggressive positivity. Like, I'm not going to lie about it. When I whisper, particularly if I'm whispering like positive affirmations or things like that, unfortunately my voice just comes off so aggressive. Like I am not built for whispering. I'm not built to whisper at people. I do want to do more affirmations videos. I do want to record more affirmations audios. I have recorded another affirmations audio. I just didn't record it in a whisper because I ain't very good at that. And I know that about myself now.
Or you in a whisper.
So, I have begun recording. I'm going to start editing. Like I said, I want to take a couple classes this summer to really work on world building with audio, because the problem is even when I am doing it without a script, like even when I am just spitballing the character, I have an idea. I can build this picture in my mind and like hear it myself of how I want it to sound and what I want it to do. I have such a horrible time actually bringing that sort of vision to life. And I don't want to do that. I want to get better about that. I want to actually be able to let these be short little, like fantasies and escapes for y'all. Like that's 6.5 of these. That's the reality of that. Content for next month. I don't really have a theme for June, honestly. I've got a couple Reddit scripts that I'm gonna be recording, mainly because they let me play around with kind of my darker side of things, and I really love playing around with that. I love kind of getting into that really dark side of myself. And if any creator tells you that they don't get into that dark side of themselves when they're doing that kind of stuff, they're lying.
They're lying.
Like, there is something so much fun. And eventually I might do a record with Spyro just for funsies. That's just
do
a
record.
Do a record. I'd do an audio with Spyro. Because there are some scripts that are like 2 people and it can be any 2 genders. My largest problem with recording with Spyro is his cats. I'm honestly shocked they haven't ruined this one.
I can shut them out of the room. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, but The problem is you have this visceral response to hearing things clatter on the other side of your house.
Only when I don't know what it is. If it comes from the other side of the wall, I know it's in the closet, and that's not a big deal. But if
Yeah,
it comes
if you
from like
just
the
really want to be
kitchen,
gay.
but if it comes from like the kitchen or something, there's shit in there that can break.
Oh yeah, true. So, but as far as recordings go, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I'm back for weekly recordings," because admittedly, it's been 2 weeks since I've uploaded the affirmations audio. I don't know if it's only going to be twice a month. I don't know if it's only going to be once a month. I know that the algorithm on YouTube is going to hate me. I know that.
Screw the algorithm.
Don't say that. This is going on YouTube. Like,
Fight me, YouTube.
I know that the algorithm isn't going to be my best friend, and I know that it's going to take a lot to not only prove to the algorithm, but to prove to you, my listeners, that I am actually back at this. Now, some of my old audios that I do still have, I'm going to re-record because I would like to think in 5 years I've gotten a little bit better at this. And I would like to redo that and to take a second chance and actually try again. You know. Plus, some of the audios were just horribly mixed, and I didn't like the mix of them, but without having the raw files, which I managed to lose that particular external hard drive, and that makes me really sad. Like, that is actually, like, a completely different topic for another day. But there are
Do you need
things...
another one? I've got like 3 lying around.
No, I have one. It's just the one that I had with all of my older audios on it, like the raw files, the Audacity raw files, is missing and highly likely just gone. And I don't know where I could have packed it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm hoping I find it, but if I don't find it, then I'm never going to have those raw audios, and that's okay. I at least have the finished, finalized audios, and I'm just trying to kind of build from that. So I may put some of my older ones back up. I don't know. Like, honestly, I may just rip the audio off and change the background a little bit, you know, because I'm trying to get back into how do I want my audios to look? What do I want them to look like? Because, you know, I can remember way back when I was still Equinox ASMR, which actually, going even further back when I was Equinox Audios.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back to Equinox Audios. You know, I had different backgrounds for literally every type of content. And it was in my little channel video. You know, if you wanted to see X type of content, click on Y color videos. And I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't. Like, part of me likes the idea of having them all kind of look similar, but also part of me understands that creates confusion. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. You know, eventually I would love to have, you know, like, once I've got finances stabilized and stuff, I really want to, you know, patronize some artists and have them draw pictures and such. I really want to have that so that there can be different, you know, kind of things, and there can be different backgrounds. I myself, who made the background for the UR video, I made the background for this video. I'm going to make different kind of novas and nebulas. I like that kind of stuff. Is it a cop-out because it's easy on Procreate? Yes. Totally it's a cop-out, but it's also not someone else's imagery at that point.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bit of pride that it's my imagery. So, we have talked about monetary stuff, Spyro. I have a list, y'all, and I just have to make sure I fully get through the list.
You are a list.
I am a dying list. Oh, one last thing to talk about. I am back on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I am going to be doing more on my YouTube community. There's going to be free posts both on my Ko-fi and my Patreon. I'm just kind of trying to be a little more active in the social part of this community. I'm not a very social person, to be completely honest. I don't know why I became a creator on a social platform, but I did. So there's that. So, keep a lookout for those sorts of things. Obviously, I don't expect everyone to comment on every little thing I post. That is just silly. But there will be updates and announcements and stuff. So if you missed something, it might have been because you missed a post. So, just an honest warning. Just an honest warning. So really quickly before we get out of here, because yes, this isn't a new, like, they're not new patrons, but I am going to shout out my patrons on Patreon because they have stuck with me through months of barely getting content. They have stuck with me through so much, and I absolutely adore them. Like, I don't, it's, it's hard when you think about it. Anyway, so I have Carly, who is absolutely amazing, has done so much for me. But I have Carly, and I have Night Blossom, who is my audio wifey. Night Blossom is absolutely amazing, and you should go look at her stuff. And then I also have someone named Half Pint Pittman. I don't 100% know who they are. They haven't been 100% active. Trust me, you can talk to me. I don't bite. And then I also have I don't 100% have their okay to do this, so I'm gonna go with their Discord username, but I have Lexi, who has, all of them have been so amazing. There has been so much uplifting, there we go, messages from all of them, and there has been just such support from them behind the scenes, because obviously they have different ways to contact me. And that's not to say that my entire Discord, my entire community hasn't been absolutely amazing, but shout out to all of them for being there for me and for still giving, even when honestly their returns were not what they should have been. I can sit here and say with complete certainty they got way less than what they deserved, and I'm working on fixing that behind the scenes. So thank you so much to my supporters. Thank you so much to Spyro for being here as per usual.
Of course.
We'll have another Sundown Saturday next month. I don't know what's going to change between now and next month, so I will see y'all then with some more updates, and we will go from there. Bye,
Yee. Goodbye.
Did you just yee during my goodbye? How dare you?
Yee.
We're going to try that again, and I'm not going to cut this out
because
this is hilarious.
It wasn't like a yee, like a southern, like it was just like an agreement, like yee.
But you yeed over my goodbye.
It was not.
It was.
On my end, it was not.
Okay, but it was. So I'm gonna do my bye, everyone, and then you can go yee. And I'm still not cutting this from the audio. This is gonna be there.
You're ridiculous.
This is great behind the scenes content, but this is also great. This is what recording with us sounds like. So,
and this is tame.
Like, there are reasons why Ahi doesn't record with us much. Anyway, it has been absolutely fun. I will see everyone soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You didn't do the yee.